Hi, this video is for my geometry students. Welcome to your test review. This covers only sections 3.5 to 3.8. Remember, the test is over the entire chapter, so it might be a good idea to watch both videos. Okay, so I have several problems for us to do together. First, find the value of each variable, and we have this picture with x, y, and z. Okay, so first, I'm going to find x, and the way that I'm going to find x is by using the triangle angle sum theorem. What this says is that this triangle that has x in it right here and the 80 and 30 degrees, those three angles have to add up to 180. So x plus 80 plus 30 must equal 180. I add 80 and 30 to get 110. So x plus 110 equals 180. And I subtract 110. And I get x equals 70. And there's the value of x using the triangle angle sum theorem. Now, I'm going to find y. Y is an exterior angle. Watch what I draw. It's an exterior angle to this triangle right here. So I'm going to use the triangle. So for y, I'm going to use the triangle exterior angle theorem, which says that the value of y is the sum of the two angles in that triangle it doesn't touch. So y is equal to 30 plus 80. And y is equal to 110. Now maybe you found y using x, which is okay, but look at y and x. 110 plus 70 is 180. X and y are also a linear pair, so you could use that as well. Alright? And now I'm going to find z. And again, I'm doing all of this by not using the other variables. I think that's very important sometimes not to use the other variables. So I'm going to use the triangle angle sum theorem. And I'm going to actually use the big triangle right here. The three angles in that triangle are z, 80 degrees, and then this angle right there. To find that angle, add 30 plus 40. And that's 70 degrees. So this angle right here, this big large angle, is 70 degrees. So to find z, I'll take z plus 80 plus the big large angle 70 degrees, and that should equal 180. Combine your 80 and 70 and get 150, so z plus 150 equals 180, and subtract 150 from both sides. And z equals 30. And there are x, y, and z in this problem. Problem 2 here, it says the angle measures of triangle RST are represented by 2x, x plus 14, and x minus 38. What are the angle measures of triangle RST? So I'll draw triangle RST. And it doesn't matter which angle is which, I don't care. Let that be 2x. Let this be x plus 14, and let that interior angle be x minus 38. These are the three interior angles of a triangle by the triangle angle sum theorem. These three angles, 2x plus x plus 14 plus x minus 38, they should equal 180. So I'll combine my like terms. 2x and x is 3x, and one more x is 4x. 14 minus 38 is negative 24. That equals 180. Add 24 to both sides. 4x equals 204, and I'll divide by 4. And I get an x value of 51. X is 51. So to find the three angles of this triangle, I'll take x and plug it back in. 2 times 51 is 102 degrees. I'll circle them at the end. 51 minus 38 is 13 degrees. And 51 plus 14 is 65 degrees. And if you add those three angles up, 13 and 102 is 115, and 65 is 180. The magic of mathematics holds. Okay, here's the next problem. We are going to construct the line through point J that is parallel to line AB. All right. So it's a couple steps. remember I put that website on my website, Geometry. I have a link to some constructions. Make sure you watch this, but I'll show you here. First thing I need is an angle. So create an angle. Use your straight edge. Create an angle at A. Okay? We are now going to copy this angle up at J. So there's two steps here. The first step to that is you need to take your compass, you need to measure some arc, and you need to draw an arc through A, just like that. So you draw an arc. So what you want are these two intersection points. Now you do that same thing here up at J. You take your arc, and you draw it up here as well. So you get one intersection point here. Okay? So you draw those arcs, they're the same arc. Now you take your compass and you measure from point to point. And whatever that is, you take it up here and you put an arc right there. So you measure the width of the angle and you put it right here. And you get this arc right here. So now you've created a fourth point, the very last point. This point and J are going to be the 2 points that make the parallel line. So my parallel line is right there. There we go. So call it line L. And it's parallel to that line down there. So there's how you construct a parallel line through a point not on a line. Okay, next question. Let's construct a perpendicular line through P to line RS. So this problem works if P is on the line or if P is off the line. It doesn't matter. Same kind of process. First, I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to measure a length from P down to line RS. And I'm going to put a mark to the right of P. Right? So put an arc to the right of P, and I'll put that same arc to the left of P. Okay? So what I've done is I've created 2 points. Now, I'm going to open my compass more than halfway across these 2 points, so somewhere about right here. So from here to here. And I'm going to measure an arc here from that point. And then I'll put the point on this point, right here. I'll put the point of my compass on this point, and I'll do another arc down there. So I get 2 arcs that intersect right down here. This point is very important. That is the second point I need to draw my perpendicular. And this problem is done. And there's my perpendicular, call it line L. Okay? So 2 steps. You draw 2 arcs, one on either side of P on the line, and then measure halfway across between those 2 new points and put arcs below the line so you get that second intersection point for line L to be drawn. Okay, problem 5. It says, AB contains A and B, line CD contains C and D. Are lines A, B, or CD, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither, and explain. So we need to remember a couple things, okay? Parallel means my slopes are equal. Perpendicular means my slopes are opposite reciprocals, and then neither is if one of those doesn't work. So we need to figure out what are the slopes of lines A, B, and C, D. So I'll first find the slope, or I'll write down the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? I'll write the slope formula. And this is going to be what we use to find both slopes of the line. So I'll do the slope of line AB. Notice I'll put AB here so I know what I'm talking about. These are the 2 points for AB. So subtract your y's. 5 minus negative 1 over, subtract your x's, 3 minus 2. That is plus plus. That is 6 over 1, and 6 over 1 is just 6. Okay, so there's the slope of AB. So if we think about parallel, let's come back up here. That's a bad choice of marker. If we think about parallel, that would mean that the other slope, the slope of CD, would have to equal 6. And if we think about perpendicular, that would mean the slope of CD would have to be the opposite of 6, which is negative, and the reciprocal of 6, which is 1/6. So let's see if either one of those answers comes out for the slope of CD. If it does, we know what the answer is. So slope of CD. Subtract your y's. Negative 2 minus 16. Subtract your x's. 7 minus 10. I get negative 18 over negative 3, which gives me positive 6. Okay, so because 6 equals 6, that means the slopes are the same. And since the slopes are the same, these two lines are parallel. There we go. Boom. Problem done. Okay, 2 more problems left. Here we go. Write an equation of the line parallel to the given line that contains C. Well, anytime you have to write an equation, your first formula that you should write down is point slope. Because to write an equation of a line, I need point slope form, and I need a point, and I need a slope. Okay. Well, look. Our line goes through point C. So here's our point. 6, negative 2. Good. But now the question is, where does our slope come from? Well, we need to understand this word right here. Parallel to the given line. This is our given line. I'm going to write that down. Y equals negative 3/2 x plus 6. This is slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? If we know the slope of this line, then because they're parallel, we know that the two slopes, are equal. And I'm going to use the slope of this line. Well, just look right above. M is negative 3/2. Therefore, the slope that I use is also going to be negative 3/2. And there's my point. There's my slope. Let's plug it in the formula. Y minus negative 2 equals negative 3/2 x minus 6. I'm going to change my minus minus to plus plus, so this is y plus 2 equals, I'm going to distribute the negative 3/2. This is negative 3/2 x. A negative times a negative is a positive. That 6 goes to the numerator. 18/2. I think 18/2 can simplify. So I rewrite the other equation, y plus 2 equals negative 3/2 x, and then the 9/2 is going to be 9. Positive 9. No fraction. Awesome. Subtract 2. Subtract 2. Answer's coming over here. Y equals, the 2 goes away, negative 3/2 x, and then 9 minus 2 is positive 7. There is the line parallel to the given line.